wind had barely settled when she did it. Not because she wanted to, not because she planned to, but because in that single reckless heartbeat, it seemed like the only way to silence the suspicion hovering in the air. And so she leaned in. For a moment that lasted no longer than a blink, yet stretched like eternity. The world fell quiet. The murmuring waves paused, the gulls froze mid-cry, and even the ever-curious eyes watching from across the cobbled square seemed to dissolve into nothingness. Then reality returned. She stepped back as if burned. What had she just done? Leyla had always prided herself on being rational. She came from the city, where schedules ruled life, where decisions were calculated, and where emotions were luxury accessories people wore only when convenient. The island was supposed to be temporary, a professional mission, a strategic step, not a place where impulsive kisses happened in public. Yet here she was. Across from her stood Aras, steady, silent, maddeningly calm Aras, who hadn't moved an inch since she pulled away. His dark eyes searched her face, not accusing, not amused, just curious. "Leyla," he began carefully. "What was that?" Her heart slammed in her chest. She could already see Merv's suspicious stare from earlier replaying in her mind. The only way to shut down the gossip had been to act, to make it convincing, too convincing. "It was nothing," she said too quickly. Aras raised one brow. "Nothing usually doesn't look like that." She swallowed. "It was for Nevin," she blurted. "She was watching. She thought something was going on between us and I needed her to stop." Silence. Not angry silence, wounded silence. "Is there nothing going on between us?" he asked quietly. The question was heavier than she expected. She hadn't prepared for that. Before she could respond, instinct took over. She turned and fled down the narrow path that led toward the half-restored seaside hotel, the project that had brought her here in the first place. Aras watched her go, hands tucked into his pockets as if he already knew that the island never let anyone run too far. By sunset, the island buzzed. On an island, news did not travel. It exploded. The bakery owner knew. The fisherman knew. The elderly women playing cards in the courtyard knew. Even children whispered exaggerated versions of what they had seen. "Did you hear? She jumped on him." No, he pulled her!" "They're secretly engaged." Ida heard all of it. And Ida did not like it. She had grown up here. She understood Aras in ways outsiders never could. She had waited patiently through the years he buried himself in restoring the abandoned hotel that once belonged to his grandfather. And now the city woman had arrived, with her polished shoes, her sharp tone, her endless plans, and within weeks she had people talking. Ida crushed the napkin in her hand. "If she thinks she can come here and play with his feelings," she muttered, "she's wrong." The next morning, Leyla woke determined to bury the previous day under productivity. Work was safe, work made sense. That was when Sealan, a cheerful island florist, arrived with unexpected news. "My cousin is looking for a new place to host her engagement celebration," Sealan said. The seaside restaurant canceled on her. Layla's mind immediately began calculating. The hotel wasn't officially open. The rooms were unfinished. The lobby still smelled of varnish and fresh paint. But the garden was breathtaking. Olive trees twisted toward the sky. Bougainvillea spilled color across stone walls. The sea stretched endlessly beyond the iron gates. "It could work," Leyla said slowly. Sealan blinked. "Work? We can host it here." Sealan nearly dropped her basket. "But the hotel is not open," Leyla finished. "Which means we'll host it as a private garden event. Exclusive, non-elegant, limited guest list." Her eyes sparkled with ambition. Finally, something she could control. Aras found out 2 hours later. "You did what?" he asked calmly, which was somehow worse than shouting. "I booked an engagement party in the garden," Leyla said confidently. "Without asking me? It's good publicity." "It's unfinished. It's charming. It's chaos." She crossed her arms. "You're afraid," he exhaled slowly. "I'm careful. That's the problem." She shot back. "You move like the tide. I move like the city. And the island isn't the city. Maybe it needs to be." That struck deeper than she intended. Aras stepped closer. "The island doesn't need to change its heartbeat to impress anyone. And I don't need the island slowing me down." They stood inches apart, angry, frustrated, uncomfortably aware of the tension humming beneath their words. Preparations began anyway. Leyla drafted schedules down to the minute, delivery times, decoration layouts, lighting angles, menu coordination, but the island moved differently. The carpenter stopped working at noon because the sun felt too harsh. The fisherman delivering fresh seafood arrived 3 hours late because the sea had its own plans. Even Seelin rearranged flowers according to which blossoms felt happiest in the shade. Leyla nearly exploded. "How do you function like this?" she demanded one afternoon. Seelin laughed. "We breathe." "I don't have time to breathe," Aras overheard. "That's exactly why you need to," he said. She glared at him. "Don't start." He didn't argue. Instead, he picked up a string of lantern lights and began hanging them silently among the trees. And despite herself, she noticed how steady his hands were. Meanwhile, Ida watched everything. She saw the way Aras and Leyla argued, intense but magnetic. She saw the way he listened even when annoyed. She saw the way Leyla softened when she thought no one noticed. Jealousy hardened inside her. If rumors could start with one kiss, they could grow with a push. Ida began planting seeds. Such passion between them, she'd say lightly at the cafe. City romances burn bright and fade quickly. She'd whisper elsewhere. Soon, speculation intensified. And Leyla, already struggling to manage the event, now had to endure sideways glances and knowing smiles. 3 days before the engagement celebration, a sleek black boat docked at the harbor. No one on the island owned such a boat. Leyla froze when she saw who stepped off. Emir, her former fiancé. The embodiment of her city life. Perfect suit, perfect smile. Perfect timing to ruin everything. He approached as if nothing had ended between them 6 months ago. "Leyla," he said warmly, "you didn't think you could disappear without telling me where you went, did you?" Her stomach tightened. "What are you doing here?" "I came to bring you back." Back. As if she had wandered too far from her designated path. Behind her, she felt Aras's presence before she saw him. Protective, silent, watching. Emir wasted no time. He visited the hotel garden during preparations, criticizing gently but clearly. "This is charming," he said, surveying the unfinished terrace. "But temporary." "It's not temporary," Aras said evenly. Emir smiled. "Everything is." Leyla felt trapped between two worlds. The structured life she had built. The uncertain, raw life she was beginning to feel here. And the island watched every second. Ida's anger twisted into opportunity. If Leyla left, everything would return to normal. The night before the engagement party, clouds gathered. Dark, heavy, threatening. Leyla stared at the sky in disbelief. "No, not now." Aras stood beside her. The weather forecast said possible rain. "You didn't tell me it would look like this." He gave her a small look. "On the island, we don't fight the sky. We adjust." Rain began as a whisper, then a roar. Decorations trembled. Lanterns flickered out. Leyla's carefully printed schedules dissolved in her damp hands. "This is a disaster," she whispered. Aras stepped closer. "It's a test." "For what?" "For whether you can stay when things don't go according to plan." Thunder cracked above them, and suddenly she understood. This wasn't about a party. It wasn't about rumors. It wasn't even about the kiss. It was about control. And for the first time in her life, she didn't have it. The next morning, the storm passed. The garden was soaked but alive. Leaves washed clean, flowers brighter than before. The islanders arrived without being asked. They fixed, they rebuilt. They rearranged, no complaints. No rush, just steady hands. Leyla watched in awe. Aras approached her quietly. "You don't have to choose today," he said. "Between worlds," she looked at him. "But you do have to choose who you are in them." Across the harbor, Emir waited beside his polished boat. In the garden, laughter slowly returned as lanterns were rehung. The island held its breath. Leyla stepped forward, not toward the boat, but toward the garden, toward the unfinished hotel, toward the man who moved like the tide but stood like a rock. And for once, she didn't run. The engagement party began at sunset. Golden light filtered through olive branches. Music floated gently across the sea. Guests gasped at the beauty of the garden that almost wasn't ready. And when Leyla caught Aras's gaze across the lantern glow, there was no performance. No suspicion to silence, no rumors to control, just something honest. Later, as they stood alone beneath the stars, Aras asked softly, "If you kissed me again, would it still be to prove something?" She smiled, nervous, real. "No," she said. And this time, when she leaned in, the island didn't need witnesses. Because some magic doesn't need an excuse, it only needs courage. The engagement party became the talk of the coast. Not because of the rain, not because the hotel wasn't finished, but because it felt alive. Candles reflected on wet stone pathways. The sea breeze carried soft music across the garden. Even the elders admitted that something about that night felt destined. Leyla should have felt victorious. Instead, she felt exposed. Because when she chose to stay on the island instead of leaving with Amir, she didn't just choose Aras. She chose uncertainty, and uncertainty had consequences. Amir did not storm away. He smiled. That was worse. "You'll come back," he told her before stepping onto his boat. "You don't belong here." His words lingered longer than the sound of the engine. The island may have accepted her work, but had it accepted her heart? And worse, had Aras? Ida had expected Leyla to leave. When she didn't, something hardened inside her. She visited Aras late one evening under the excuse of returning an old book. "You've changed," she told him softly. "No," he replied, "I'm finally honest." Honest about what? He didn't answer, because deep down he wasn't sure. Was he drawn to Leyla because she was different? Or because she challenged everything he thought he wanted? Ida saw the hesitation, and she decided hesitation could be used. The next morning, a rumor spread faster than wind through olive branches. Leyla's company in the city was selling the hotel land to developers. By noon, fishermen were whispering. By afternoon, villagers were suspicious. By evening, Aras heard. And this time, he didn't approach her calmly. "Is it true?" he asked, voice tight. Leyla blinked. "Is what true? That your company plans to sell this land?" The accusation hit harder than she expected. "No. You didn't tell me everything about why you came here." "Because it was complicated. It still is." They stood in the garden that had brought them closer, now suddenly feeling like a battlefield. "I chose this place," she said, hurt rising in her voice. "I fought for it. Did you?" he asked quietly. "Or is it temporary, like Amir said?" That broke something inside her. "You think I'm using this island?" "I think you don't even know what you want." She turned away before he could see the tears forming. And this time, she didn't just run from a kiss. She ran from him. 2 days later, a registered letter arrived. Not gossip, not a rumor. A document. Leyla opened it alone inside the half-furnished lobby. Her company was indeed reconsidering the project. Budget cuts out investor pressure. They wanted to convert the land into a luxury marina complex. Glass towers, private docks, exclusive memberships, everything the island was not. Her hands trembled. She hadn't known. But now she did. And if she stayed silent, Aras would lose everything his grandfather built. On the island, decisions are not shouted. They settle. Leyla didn't sleep that night. She walked the shoreline until dawn painted the sky in soft gold. She could go back to the city, keep her career, secure her future, or she could fight a corporation that didn't lose fights. When she finally approached Aras, he was repairing a wooden shutter. He didn't look up immediately. "I got the letter," she said quietly. His hammer paused. "So it's true. They're planning to sell." Silence stretched between them. "But I'm not letting them." That made him look up. "You can't stop them alone." "I won't be alone." He searched her face carefully. "Why?" he asked. "For the hotel? For the island?" She swallowed. "For us." What Leyla didn't expect was what happened next. When news of the marina spread officially, the island didn't panic. It gathered the fishermen, the cafe owners, Sealand, the florist, even the elderly card players. "This land is memory," one of the elders said. "It's not for sale." For the first time, Leyla didn't feel like an outsider organizing something. She felt like part of it. Aras stood beside her, not leading, not controlling. Standing with her, Ida watched from a distance. And slowly, her anger faded into something quieter. Acceptance. This storm wasn't weather. It was legal. Lawyers arrived, developers visited. Offers were made directly to islanders to divide them. Some hesitated. Money was tempting. Old houses needed repairs. Boats needed replacing. Leyla faced the board of her company through a video call set up in the hotel lobby. "You're emotionally compromised," one executive said. "I'm ethically committed," she replied. "You'll lose your position, then I'll lose it." Aras listened from the doorway. For the first time, he saw not the city woman who rushed everything, but someone willing to burn bridges to build something real. Weeks passed in tension. One quiet evening, as they worked late in the garden, Aras finally spoke. "When you kissed me that day," he said, adjusting lantern wires, "was there even a small part of you that meant it?" She didn't answer immediately, because now the answer was different than before. At first, she admitted, it was panic. He nodded slowly. "But when I ran," she continued, "it wasn't because I didn't feel something. He stopped working. It was because I did. The air changed. No rumors, no witnesses. Just truth. Ida approached Leyla unexpectedly one afternoon. "I was unfair to you," she said bluntly. Leyla blinked. "You belong here more than I thought." "That's not for me to decide," Leyla replied gently. Ida smiled faintly. "No, but it's clear who he looks for in a crowd." There was no bitterness left, only closure. Sometimes love is not losing. It's knowing when to step aside. The company gave Leyla an ultimatum. Return to the city within 48 hours, or consider her contract terminated. She read the email twice. Her entire career balanced on a single decision. Aras found her sitting on the hotel steps at dusk. "You don't have to sacrifice everything," he told her. "I'm not sacrificing," she said softly. "I'm choosing. For me, for myself." And for once, those two things were the same. She didn't board a boat. She didn't pack her life into suitcases. She sent one final email, resignation attached. When the sun rose the next morning, she wasn't a project manager from the city. She was a partner in rebuilding something rooted. The island didn't celebrate loudly. It simply continued, but this time with her woven into its rhythm. Months later, the hotel finally opened officially. Not as a luxury marina, not as a corporate experiment, but as a restored memory. Travelers came not for extravagance, but for authenticity. And one evening, under the same olive tree where the first impulsive kiss had happened, Aras took her hand. "No rumors watching," he said quietly. "No doubts to silence?" "None." She smiled. "Then this one," she whispered, stepping closer, "is entirely intentional." And this time, when their lips met, there was no running, only staying.